Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to review the latest non-fiction book I've read, Stone Age Hunters, by Grahame Stark. And when this was purchased in 1967, it went for a whopping $2.95. And there's someone apparently owned this in as late as 1984. Someone named Linda something or other. I can't quite read it. This book covers Stone Age hunting technology and the societies that practiced it from a fairly wide range of time period, starting with the Homo erectus, moving all the way up to the era of agriculture. So you're talking like a 2 million year range, and it isn't a particularly thick book. I mean, it's not a very big book. And on the plus side, this has some really great illustrations and photographs, both black and white and color. Nice sketches, good detail on different types of tools that were used and the techniques that were used under. Lots of information about stone, cave paintings, things like that. Representations of the animals that were hunted in carving on both in the walls and on antlers and bone and stone, things like that. And since it's covering a very wide range, it can't go particularly deep. And that's okay. I mean, again, this is more of an introduction kind of a book. But what I find kind of odd is that the writing style is very academic. It's very dry. And I would think that if you were going to do a book of this scale, this size, and the breadth that it was covering, you'd want a more approachable, more lively style of writing to draw the reader in. Now, I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. But I know a lot of people are going to be bugged by reading something this academic, even though it's just discussing a topic over such a wide-ranging area. It really is an introduction, but it doesn't come off like an introduction. I still enjoyed it. I still think it's a useful reference. There are a few archaic things about it because it was published in 1967. The use of language is a little stilted. For example, I didn't realize that at the time, Homo habilis, that's funny. Homo habilis was not necessarily a confirmed term of scientific use, and now it is. I find that kind of interesting. Quite so along the way that plate tectonics at one time, as late as the 1970s, was not considered the accepted theory about how continents had developed. That blew my mind away when I discovered it, because I always considered plate tectonics as, it's been around forever, but it wasn't around forever. And they referred to the cultures as hunter-gatherers. It makes a whole lot more sense, and it is now an accepted term in archaeology, to refer to them as gather-hunterers. Now that sounds strange, but the reality is that gathering foods, plants, both the fruit, vegetables, insects, nuts, things like that, that those types of food gaining methods are far more efficient and consistent than hunting. Hunting is still vastly important, and without it, we would not be here. Gorillas are not geniuses, and there's a reason for this. They eat plants. It's the fact that we are meat eaters, and have been for the entire existence of our species, that we have the big brains. Hunting helped to develop that. But still, it was hit or miss, literally, and you didn't use it as your survival so much as what you use to supplement your diet on a regular basis as you could. But the things you got from the land, the plants and the fruits and the vegetables and the insects and things like that, those were what kept you alive between the hunting successes. So a couple of terms in this book are a little archaic, but like I said, it was 1967. But I do recommend it if you can find a copy cheap like I did. I think I paid 50 cents for this, or $1 or something like that. Check it out. It's worth your time. And if you ever have an interest in getting into a book that covers the topic of stone tools much, much deeper, I recommend Making Silent Stones Speak. It is an excellent tome. I loved it, though it is also rather dry and academic.